Guys, let's have a quick chat about our girl Rachel Fuda, who appeared on Watch What Happens Live right after the latest episode of Real Housewives of New Jersey. But before we get to her comments, you know what you gotta do? You gotta subscribe if you haven't already. I cover Housewives, Bravo, some good pop culture tea. I got you on the daily. And with that said, let's get into it. All right, guys, this is just like a quick chat, okay? Like some of the comments she said, it did kind of rub me the wrong way. Like, Rachel, girl, what are you talking about? I covered it briefly in my Real Housewives of New Jersey episode recap. You guys can go check that out. That's already on this page. Um, she called out Jackie. She said, Jackie got played like a fiddle, and obviously we are seeing that this season. Like the fact that Jackie is posting like happy birthday to Teresa, like recently, as of like, I don't know, something from this year even. Jackie, we got a lot to say about Jackie, but I'm not going to go too into that in this video. I am glad that Rachel at least is outspoken. If she sees something, she says something. So I do appreciate that. And Rachel, at the end of the day, is, one of the youngest housewives to be on this franchise. And I do think she holds her own. Before we continue with her commentary, the outfit, did you guys like it? Did you guys think it was too much? Here's the thing. When you have a housewife and then you have like a person who, I guess, like the person that was with her, seated beside her yesterday, they're from SNL and they just wore like jeans and a t-shirt, and they just like come on these shows very like casual. But then with our housewives, they got hair, makeup, like a spray tan person. They got like a whole team behind them. So then when they show up in like a ball gown, it's just like, oh, okay, this is just like a normal day, a normal interview for a housewife. So I don't know. I thought because the person beside her was so casual, Rachel looked overly done up. But at the end of the day, it's Watch What Happens Live. You want to like be, in full glam, whatever. And I appreciate it when someone goes above and beyond. So that's my 2 cents on her outfit. I did see some commentary that some of you didn't like her outfit, but whatever. You can't appease everyone. Anyways, back to her comments. The Jackie thing, I totally get it. Teresa's using Jackie. She mentioned that, which we all have eyes, we see it. And then Margaret has her arsenal. Since Jackie is on the outs with Margaret, Margaret is now being a little vindictive, and I don't like the way Margaret's moving. Now, Rachel did mention that the bottle idea was James Leonard, Teresa's lawyer. And again, I covered this a little bit briefly in my recap. This James Leonard guy, how are you a lawyer and a housewife's whisperer? Like, pick a lane. Like, do you want to keep your law degree or not? Because it's weird the way Teresa's lawyer is moving. And on this page, I haven't really covered the Nivea and all the shady stuff going with Louis. It is, quite honestly, guys, it's complicated, but not complicated. Like, if you guys want a deep dive, there's some great creators who are amazing with that sort of stuff. I don't know how they have all the time in the day, but it is a lot to get into. I might cover that in a separate video, but I'm still kind of, getting my thoughts together on that. Moving on to what else Rachel said. There has been comment about Teresa and too big for Jersey. That really rubbed me the wrong way. Without Teresa, would we still have Real Housewives of New Jersey going on for 14 seasons? Maybe. However, Teresa is a big pull for the show, for this network. The amount of money Bravo makes off of Teresa, her personal brand, whether people love her, hate her, there's so much engagement when it comes to Teresa. She definitely has her own fan base. And there just seems to be some sort of like behind the scenes plan to oust Teresa. And Teresa, I believe, makes, 2 million or just over 2 million. And that would be a lot of money for the network to, maybe spend on other housewives. I don't know. I don't know what these housewives are thinking. Like, you cannot like pre-produce or self-produce. And every time we see housewives trying to do that, It always goes south, and now look at Real Housewives New Jersey. You don't even get a reunion since you guys don't want to film with each other, since you guys apparently said everything you needed to say in that final lunch at Rails, where Dolores is the last one in her seat, looking very mob wife-ish, by the way. But anyways, that comment, I thought, Rachel girl, you're young when the show started. You might have been in grade school still. You were probably like partying, in your 20s, like when the show started. And now look at you. You're on the show. You're one of the younger housewives. I think we all love to see like the Fudas, their family life, their extended family, their home, her sharing what's going on with her two kids. Like we love seeing that side, but then you gotta like have respect for the OGs, like the Vicky Gunvalsons, like the OG of the OC, like the mama of this entire franchise, right? Like even Bethany is acting insane on her TikToks. One week she's bashing Chanel, one week she's back on the what is it called? The Reality Reckoning initiative she started because Jeff Lewis and Andy were mean to her on that one Watch What Happened live episode. It doesn't matter how these OGs behave. At the end of the day, you got to give, flowers when they deserve it. And for her to be like, oh, Teresa's too big for the show, it's kind of like a it's kinda like a backhanded compliment. You ever, like, see a colleague still working at the same place and you're just like, "Why are you still here? Like, you should be doing, bigger and greater things." It's almost like a compliment, like, "You're here, you have such great talents, you should be, like, up here or over there doing bigger and better things." So, in a way, it's kinda like a compliment, but at the same time, it's a little backhanded, like, "Oh, Teresa, you're too big for this show. Like, what are you still doing here?" It's like, girl, like the likes of Kyle, Teresa, even Vanderpump, had she, chosen to stay. There are, some housewives. Bravo has their back, and clearly they have a good like working relationship. And when it comes to Teresa, we've never really heard her being annoying to staff or, behind the scenes. She seems like she goes to work, she collects her paycheck, she's on when she's on, or she's on when the cameras are rolling. She's off living her life, when the cameras are not rolling. So yeah, that some of the things she said about Teresa that rubbed me the wrong way. And you don't have to be a Guys, you don't have to be a a tree hugger or tree stop, as Margaret likes to call it. You don't have to be a Teresa fan, in order to, not agree with Rachel. Anyways, they had a segment where Andy was like, "Oh, can you defend what like Margaret did or whatever?" And most of the not so nice things that Margaret did, I did catch Rachel Fuda defending it. I don't know, guys. Margaret's nasty side, we've seen tidbits of it and, other seasons, but this season we're really seeing it. And I think if Rachel and Margaret weren't friends or weren't as great friends as they appear to be on the show, I think for that segment on Watch What Happens Live, can you defend it? I think a lot of those deplorable things Margaret did, if they weren't friends, Rachel would probably not defend it. But because they're friends, she's like, "Yeah, I'll defend it." However, there were some instances when it came to Margaret and, Andy's like, "Oh, can you defend it?" Rachel was like on the fence because it was like bad. Like it doesn't matter if someone's your friend or not, you still got to use your brain. It's like, okay, well, what you did was like not cool. I can't like support you when it, comes to whatever behavior it was. Anyways, guys, this is like quick take on what, Miss Rachel Fuda said on Watch What Happens Live. She was joined by John Fuda because, wherever Rachel goes and gets camera time, John has to get camera time as well. You guys chime into the comments. I'd love to hear your take on Rachel's time on Watch What Happens Live. I got you with more hot, Bravo goss and pop culture tea. Definitely subscribe, turn on notifications, and like and comment. I will catch you all later.